to SteamPunk. This is your host, SteamPunk Bob, and today we're taking the stage and putting foul play in the spotlight. Foul play is set entirely on the stage of a series of dramatic performances detailing the completely true and not at all sensationalized or exaggerated world-saving exploits of Baron Dashforth and, with a second local or online player, his apprentice, Mr. Scampwick. These plays have a really amazing set of stuntmen involved, I have to say. See, this series of plays is a beat-em-up video game. These plays cover a wide variety of sets, from seedy bars in the streets of London, brutal deserts surrounding Cairo, all the way to the depths of the sea. This game definitely has a unique visual style to it, in that all your enemies are very literally guys in costumes. From the gargoyles to the mummies, or even my personal favorites, the guys dressed all in black carrying around the furniture that's being manipulated by a spooky poltergeist. Of course, the most dangerous creatures you'll encounter are in play 2, when you meet...
Here's the wind-up and the pitch.
Werewolf?
No, werewolf. Where? Say it.
Thankfully, my characters have some training on fighting monsters. I pity any normal man
Oh, great, a random citizen that can kick a werewolf's ass, huh?
I guess this explains why they're just that axe regular mooks. A werewolf is apparently less dangerous than a puma. That's a low bar to set. The game has one issue that was always a problem with the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video games. Something that can be summed up as lazy backup. See, Mr. Scampwick is around. We banter back and forth in certain parts of stages. He's shown advancing further into the set with me. But since I don't have a second player, he just cracks open a beer and relaxes in his reclining armchair as soon as we start fighting monsters. One of my favorite instances of this is how, before the first boss, when Baron Dashforth builds up how dangerous the upcoming demon fight will be, and how he might not be able to defeat it, Scampwick helpfully adds, "Reckon I'll tip the balance then, sir." At which point he does nothing to help me fight the boss. Don't get me wrong, I think they made the right decision here. I don't want to be required to recruit a second player, and I wouldn't want Scampwick to be running around under possibly dubious AI control. But couldn't they have had Scampwick sometimes doing some very choreographed fight with one enemy occasionally or something? Some sort of duel that I obviously couldn't interfere with without messing them up, and then maybe Scampwick finishes the other guy off moments after I clean up the rest of the mooks or something? Maybe that would look contrived and I'd still complain about it, but couldn't they have at least had something like that for boss stages? The visual style of the plays is very pleasant and consistent. Bad guys, upon defeat, will lay there for a while, then try to sneak off stage when the audience isn't looking, or get pulled away by a vaudeville-style hook or whatnot. In fact, the overall feel of the game is really good. It feels like a good, over-the-top adventure story. Hell, our first play involves fighting demons in a cursed city that was buried deep under the desert sands around Cairo. It's very Indiana Jones. You even find the team that was studying the area before the demon incited insanity. Then, of course, you beat the crap out of them.
Rock'em sock'em, archaeologists.
But while I like the game's feel, I have some issues with its execution. Mooks all feel, for the most part, the same. I mean, yeah, I understand that the mummies in Play 1 are probably the same stuntmen that I'm beating up in vampire suits in Play 2, but aside from the occasional gimmick, you just have 3 kinds of bad guys. Big, small, and flying. And as far as gameplay and combat strategy, I'm not really sure those vampires are any different than the mummies at all. Once I unlocked the ability to grab people by the lapels and beat the stuffing out of them in a pummel, I just tried to jump from lapel to lapel, and fights seemed to kind of blur together. Gameplay is the weakest portion of foul play by far, As I said, the fights feel kinda samey. The mechanics fit nicely with the style they've established of the entire game being a play. Since it's inherently stage fighting, for example, you don't have a health bar. Instead, you need to keep the audience entertained by being a badass, thrashing the demons in your way, and not getting hit. Still, the sameness of combat really gets the fire score down to a rather paltry 2 out of 5. Coal is our story and presentation. I really like the presentation here. It's quite consistent with the adventuresome feel. The enemies look like just what they are, guys in costumes. As I said earlier, my personal favorite is the guys who are all in black, carrying chairs and being a spooky poltergeist. The story is simple, but very straightforward, and even managed to surprise me with a plot point. 5 out of 5. Graphics and sound. Sounds like Steam to me. The visual effects are good, the costumes are solid, and the music feels like a big stage production. The audio-visual feel is fantastic. It all ties together nicely to give me a perfect 5 out of 5 Steam score. Electric is our general fun and polish, and I enjoyed my time playing this game. The banter between Dashforth and Scamplook is well written and fun. I like beat-em-ups, so this was a fun sit for me. The only thing that dragged the fun down for me was the somewhat repetitive combat, but still quite fun 4 out of 5. Foul Play has a very admirable 16 out of 20, and it was a fun game. If you enjoy beat-em-ups, you'll probably enjoy Foul Play. 2 players, especially local, will probably be a lot of fun. Anyway, this is SteamPunk Bob, out.